The only local news teams taking action for you. KIMA KEPR Action News starts now.
Coming up this morning on Action News, a Kennewick man is dead and a Burbank man is in the hospital after a crash in Walla Walla. A helicopter was called in to transport the patient, and state troopers are still investigating the crash. We'll share the details. Plus, a crash and wildfire in Prosser are confirmed to be connected. We first brought you those stories separately, but Washington State Patrol confirming the details yesterday. We'll fill you in. And a dozen fires have sparked this week, and we're barely into fire season. A significant amount of them have ignited in Yakima County, and now the county has put a burn ban in place. We'll get you up to speed on that and hear from a fire chief on creating that defensible space around your home. We'll have those details and more coming up as you start your day with us right here on Action News. Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, what a hectic week it's been for firefighters. There's a dozen fires at least that sparked up throughout this week. So as we head on into the weekend, what are the things to keep in mind?
Well, we are still going to be dry and we are going to be windy, especially tomorrow is when those winds are really going to be ramping up. So those are both things that we will talk about as we go throughout the course of the newscast. Now, as we wake up this morning, I know many of us are experiencing some strong winds to start off this Friday, but in general, winds are going to be on a decreasing trend today. In Yakima, we have been looking at winds gusting up to around 25 to 30 miles an hour this morning, but again, winds are going to be on a decreasing trend as we go throughout the course of this day. As we look out at Yakima, you might see some of those cotton candy skies. It's a beautiful sunrise out there. Very warm start to the morning, 58 degrees. This afternoon, though, is going to be cooler than anything we have seen, or I shouldn't say anything we have seen, but certainly much cooler than yesterday. So that leads right into the weather headlines today. More clouds and cooler on this Friday. There will be an increasing cloud trend throughout the course of this day. We're going to be much cooler. A significant cool down arrives on Saturday, and we are going to be subject to some strong winds too. Many of us seen winds gusting up to around 40 miles per hour for the first day of Father's Day weekend. And we are going to stay cool right through Father's Day Sunday, and we will stay cool into early next week with well below average daytime highs. Who could see temperatures only into the 60s? That's coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Grant County. A person in their 20s is dead from the hantavirus. The state public health lab confirmed the cause of death earlier this week. Now, the person who died had a known exposure to rodents, likely inside a vehicle before their illness. Here in Washington, deer mice are carriers of the hantavirus, and people get infected by breathing in air that's been in contact with fresh droppings or the nests of rodents. Early symptoms are flu-like, and late symptoms include shortness of breath and chest tightening due to fluid buildup. A deadly crash on Highway 12 in Walla Walla County yesterday shut down the highway in both directions for several hours. According to Washington State Patrol, 25-year-old Daniel Zarate of Kennewick was traveling westbound 19 miles west of Walla Walla, while 37-year-old Joshua Hoover of Burbank was heading eastbound. That's when Zarate's vehicle left the roadway, and officials say he overcorrected and hit Hoover. They also say a MedStar helicopter was dispatched to the scene. Hoover wasn't wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash and had to be taken to Cadleck Medical Center. Zarate was wearing a seatbelt, though he died at the scene. This is an ongoing investigation, and we'll continue to update you as more information becomes available. Two stories we shared with you Wednesday morning, one about a fire in Prosser, another about a fatal rollover crash, are connected. Just before 5:30 Tuesday evening, 45-year-old Joe Flores from Sunnyside rolled his vehicle near milepost 78 on I-82. According to the Washington State Patrol, the vehicle rolled 3 times before coming to rest on its wheels. A brush fire in a neighboring field in Prosser was ignited from the incident, which officers soon extinguished. Flores was not wearing a seatbelt and was pronounced dead at the scene. No other vehicles were involved. Officials are still investigating the cause of the crash. Fires continue to spark in our area. Another brush fire broke out near Harlan Landing yesterday. SELA firefighters, along with units from the Department of Natural Resources, responded around 11:30 in the morning. SELA Fire Chief Jim Lang told the Yakima Herald the fire burned around 10 acres. So far, there's no word on how that fire started. Those purple air sensors are in place and relaying data across the Findlay area, monitoring the air quality near the Lineage Logistics fire. Now that air quality seems to be following an up and down trend over the last few days, with the quality getting worse in the overnight hours and improving as the morning progresses. Now, as of this morning, the sensors are indicating good to moderate air quality around that area. That data is available in real time by visiting fire.airnow.gov. If you or someone you know in the Findlay area is being impacted by the Lineage Logistics fire and needs assistance, you're encouraged to contact the Benton Franklin Health District. Now, with all of the fires recently, Yakima County's fire marshal is taking more precautions to try to prevent more fires. A burn ban is in place for residential areas around Yakima County. This ban is set to last until the end of September because of those dry conditions. If you're caught violating the ban, you could face a $1,000 fine, along with the possibility of being arrested. And fire season is here, and it's been a loaded start with about a dozen fires sparking already this week. Some have spread to homes and causing some damage. For folks in the wildland-urban interface who see the danger from the wildfires first, there are some things to keep in mind when protecting your home. And there are 3 zones: immediate, up to 5 feet, intermediate, 5 to 10 feet, and extended, which is that 10 feet to the edge of your property. And each have different things to think about. In the immediate zone, think about the deck, if you have one, and what's underneath it. Things like decorations, furniture, and flower pots should also be on the checklist. If they're flammable, they should be moved away from the home, especially when you're not there.
Check your gutters for pine needles or dead leaves, because a fire will start in the gutter and you won't see it because it's overhead and you're looking for stuff down on the ground. Most people would think a vegetation fire. I'm looking at the ground burning, not what's burning overhead.
Now, Chief Harris says for the intermediate zone, keep your lawn green and consider the plants that you're putting in the ground. Also, keep any trees trimmed up to 6 feet above the ground and remove any dead or tall weeds. A list of fire-resistant plants native to our area is available on our website, KEPRTV.com. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, as we make our way into the weekend, what should we expect, especially in terms of some of these wildfires that are already burning?
Yeah, I really want to show this wildfire map because we just spent really a whole A block talking about wildfires, and this just should serve as a reminder that we are well into fire season. Now, I only have the bigger wildfires on the map. I know we have certainly seen several smaller wildfires, especially around the Tri-Cities and Yakima, but these are just some of the bigger fires that are ongoing or have sparked already this season. The Yakima Training Center fire just a few days ago grew to 4,000 acres. The Hanford Reach fire at 570 acres. And then I would say the most concerning fire in the Pacific Northwest right now is actually the Pioneer fire near Lake Chelan. That's grown up to over 1,400 acres, and that's burning through timberland, so that could put out a lot of smoke. So have that dispensable space, keep your lawn green, and also just talking about air quality right now in the Tri-Cities, we are at that moderate air quality with good air quality elsewhere. Of course, we will continue to track fire danger, and I'll tell you about why we might really need a heightened sense of fire safety this weekend coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. The time now is 5:08. Coming up on Keeper KIMA this morning, we've teamed up with Yokes to help families in our communities for the Second Harvest What's for Lunch campaign. Now through June 30th, you can go to any Yokes to shop for items to donate, or while there, you can pick a prepackaged bag of food when you check out. Now, donations may also be made online. In about 2 minutes, though, we're going to be sitting down with Second Harvest to talk the campaign. And later in the show, health news. Research shows younger people are struggling with feeling lonely and unappreciated on the job. A survey shows young workers are having trouble connecting with older workers and don't feel their ideas are deemed good. We'll have the results. Stay with us.